Welcome to part 2 on my tutorial on how to use research databases. I'm going to be talking to you right now about how to use EBSCOhost, one of my favorite research databases, to do some really good research. So first of all, in order to get to EBSCOhost, you're going to want to go through your library portal of choice. For my class, that means going through gowild.net. Once you're on gowild.net, click on the E, and click on EBSCOhost. And you should see this page. Click on Select All and Continue. Now you're ready to start using EBSCOhost. So the first stage in the research process is to do a search. The topic that I want to do research on is SOPA. So I'm going to do a basic search right now for SOPA. I'm just going to type in SOPA right here in the search bar and see what comes up. A couple of things that you're going to want to notice. First of all, there are 1,344 results when I search SOPA. Second of all, some of them have nothing to do with the kind of SOPA I'm looking for. The second result, for example, deals with SOPA as in the Spanish word for soup. Finally, many of these articles are not full text. So I'm going to want to click Limit to Full Text right here and let it update. Now that's narrowed my results to 932. So as I'm searching, I'm going to scan down these and see what might be helpful to me. This one right here, it says that it deals with, under the subject area, it says it deals with intellectual property, free trade, electronic commerce. This one looks like it might be kind of handy. I want to come back and look at that one in a minute. Scrolling down, here we have one called No SOPA for You, Lessons from the Fight Over SOPA and PIPA. PIPA is a bill related to SOPA, and so that's definitely one I might want to look at as well. Here's another one that looks interesting, IP Wars, SOPA, PIPA, and the Fight Over Online Piracy. This one says it's an academic journal, so I'm going to click on it and I'm going to read the abstract. The abstract is found right here, and I'm going to read it over and see how it can be useful to me. This abstract says that the article gives information on SOPA and PIPA. This could definitely be useful to me. Because this article is an overview of SOPA and PIPA, I may want to also look at the subjects that this deals with. These subjects can be very helpful to me as I refine my search. It says that the subjects it deals with are copyright infringement, intellectual property, websites, and piracy or copyright law and legislation. So I have now done a search and I reviewed the results by going down the list, seeing what might be helpful to me, and reading some abstracts. As I've read some abstracts, I've identified a few articles that will be useful to me, and I've also identified new search terms that I'm going to want to use. So I'm now ready to refine my search to go deeper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Advanced Search right here. And this gives me some very powerful tools for finding exactly what I need. I'm going to leave SOPA in the first line because everything that I want to find, I want it to relate to SOPA. In the second line, I'm going to use some of those search terms I found in the abstract of the article that I just looked at. So one of them was intellectual property. You'll see that it predicts intellectual property right here, so I'm going to click on that. So I want SOPA and intellectual property. You'll notice to the right hand side I can select a field, and this might be helpful. The field, I can have this under all text, so intellectual property, it can appear anywhere in the text. Could be the author. Obviously that's not what I'm going to use for this search. The title, the subject terms. I'm going to try subject terms and see what comes up here, and then do a search. Again, I'm going to want to limit this to full text, so I'll go over here and click full text. And now I have 88 results that should relate to SOPA and intellectual property. I probably won't see any results relating to the Spanish word for soup. What I want to do now is review these results, read abstracts, and find ones that might be useful to me and save them. So I'm ready for the fourth step, to save some articles. Here's a periodical article called There's No Fixing SOPA and PIPA, Time to Start Over. Looking at the abstract for this one, it appears that the article deals with an alternative to the SOPA and PIPA bills. This is definitely one I want to keep. So I'm going to save this by clicking print, because I'm in Google Chrome. Click print again. And when the print dialog box comes up, I'm going to click change destination, save to Google Drive, and then I will click save. And that will save that article in Google Drive for me. I can now go and open up Google Drive. And find that article at the top of my results. I'm going to rename this article to something that's more useful to me. I'll call it the title of the original article. And then I'm going to save that eventually in my research folder. So in review, I've just given you a model of how to use the four steps of using a database. So in review, we've gone over the 4 steps of how to use a database effectively. I've given you an example search trying to find some good articles to use in my paper about SOPA, the Stop Online Piracy Act. And hopefully you're able to see how I was able to use some basic search terms, then review my results, refine my search terms, and save the articles that I think will be useful to me. Now it's your turn. Get on to EBSCOhost and find as many articles as you can that will help support your arguments. Happy searching!